Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the November Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. We have 9 applicants today that we'll be dealing with. The way we do it is we call you up, we swear you in, you tell us what you're looking for, and the board will have some questions for you, and then we'll go through the calendar, and when we're done, we will close all the hearings and we will vote. We're missing one member of the board today, so if anyone has any reason not to go forward because we're one light, let us know and we'll hold you over. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, application number 1, application of Robert Altero for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to retain gazebo and legalized room above garage. The property is located at 3 Curry Spur, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 53.12-1-17. The code requires for the gazebo a 10-foot rear setback. What is provided is 2 feet. The variance requested is 8 feet. As for the garage, the code requires a 25-foot front. And in this case, we have the property that seems to be over the property line, so the variance required is 25 feet. Hello, my friend.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. Raise your hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, name and address, please. and
Willie
tell us
Basharat, 266 Sheer Road, Mahopac. I'm here representing Mr. Altier, who happened to be with us tonight. This case, it has been postponed from a month ago, or 2 months ago, actually, because we're trying to come to the bottom of the situation of what's going on. This garage exists or almost 3 feet plus, whatever, on the right-of-way that serves this house and the Del Duca's house in the back. And from day one was like that. And we have a letter, I'm sure you probably got a copy of it, and from Mr. Del Duca explaining what's going on here. And they seem to have no issue with it at this stage. What we looked further, the attorney looked at it, this right-of-way serves both, they both have the same right to the right-of-way by deed. There's a deed showing that. The situation that I'd like to ask the board for is more of an advice and direction on what kind of paperwork we need to go ahead with this, and this board can, within their authority, act upon it. So, Craig, that goes to you.
You're talking about the actual structure being over the property line?
Correct, yes. It's over the property line, but it's on an easement or a right-of-way that serves those 2 houses, and they both had the same right to that right-of-way.
You have a setback to a property line, sorry, Greg. You have a setback to a property line,
Correct.
and right now you are 0. for
I'm
both
like minus
properties.
3.
What?
I'm minus 3.
It's really nice.
But does,
0 on both properties.
Correct,
does
yes.
does the easement that you have permit the use that's being utilized, or is it some other right-of-way?
Yeah, according to the attorney that looked briefly at it, that we asked him, he said it's not an easement, it's a right-of-way.
Okay, if it's a permissory document, it has to include that particular use. It could be a right-of-way for access and egress.
Okay.
And that would not necessarily cover the use of having a structure in the right-of-way. So if that's either within it or it's modified to include it,
It is
then you can come back and ask for 0 lot lines on each
Exactly.
lot.
It is
You have to
not
cover that.
specified whether it's for egress, ingress, or for utilities, whatever it is. It's just general use by this house onto this property. I cannot answer any law questions on this. I need your guidance.
Well, the problem is you have an existing structure.
Correct.
That is pre-existing legal,
Correct.
sitting there.
Uh-huh.
You went on top of that.
Correct.
That's the issue.
That's
upper
the issue.
floor,
Now,
not
how
the-
can we handle it? This way we can proceed with it and get whatever paperwork we need.
You either need to bring it back to what it was,
Okay?
or get permission from the owner of right-of-way to be on their property, and then you both need a variance for 0 feet.
Okay. Now, I don't need to go do the purchase of property or anything like that.
Say-
I don't need to purchase a property because I don't think they even own that property. We don't know who owns that property. It's just a right-of-way accessibility of there's a small road that serves 2 houses.
Somebody owns it.
Mike, it's
Del
definitely a
Duca
private
owns it.
road?
The neighbor next door owns it.
Somebody owns it. I don't know
Yes.
who. It's not my,
Okay,
There's no
so
tax on
a
that.
perpetual agreement between the 2 parties will suffice to go for a variance on both parties
to 0.
to 0 lot line.
Provided that it includes the use of the structure.
The use, yeah, will be specific on what the variance is for and what the use is for.
Well, the person that owns the property, if they go for a variance for 0 on their property, that's implying permission too.
That is it, but I would want, if there's a right-of-way
It's
out there
cleaner.
to be amended.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say,
have
you
no
wanna
problem
codify that.
specifying the use.
You're
You know,
right.
I don't see a problem specifying the use on it if we're gonna do it though. So that will be sufficient for us to have an agreement between the 2 neighbors and then modify the application for the zoning variance to include both properties.
Yeah,
Your application's correct, the other application has to.
So we need a new application and notify the neighbors again?
It's a joint application.
Do you have permission from the owner of the property?
Yes, yes, he gave the town and he sent a copy of the letter to the town.
Didn't we get a letter saying that somebody rescinds an
That-
approval?
We did.
Same property or different one?
Same problem.
Same
Del
one.
Duca.
it's not rescinded the approval, the opposition.
He has no
It was
opposition.
rescinding the
There's
opposition.
no opposition. Initially, there was no opposition
Yeah.
and then that was rescinded.
Okay, I didn't know what was
Yes,
rescinded.
agreed.
I didn't get
Yes.
the email.
Yeah, no, it's rescinding.
So we could hold it over, but there's going to be another application that needs to piggyback with this, right?
Or this has to be amended to include both properties.
That's the question for me.
You need the variance of both properties.
So
Correct.
it has to be second, okay.
Yeah, but do I need to submit a new application and new paperwork on behalf of the Del Ducas to include this situation?
You can amend the application.
Or just amend the application?
He's not asking for different relief. So I don't think you'd have to submit a new application. I think
So
you could
it would
amend
include
So
both-
there's a joint application between the 2 parcels.
So it would include both tax maps as opposed?
Yes.
Okay,
And both signatures.
and both signatures.
And whatever the modified right-of-way document.
Because you're right, technically the notice is exactly the same, the relief is exactly the same. Right, okay, I get it.
You want this for next time?
Yes, please.
All right.
Well, it's incomplete,
When's that?
so.
Well, I know. I don't know if he wanted more time.
Motion to hold
Motion to hold over.
Rose just made it.
So
John second.
John seconded and Rose with the motion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'll,
Willie.
I'll communicate with Dawn on it and get her whatever paperwork and whatever we have to modify.
Thank you.
You guys have a nice evening. I won't see you. Have a very happy holiday and Merry Christmas.
You too.
You too,
Thank
Willie.
you. Okay, application number 2, application of Bore Kotai for the interpretation of section 156-15. Applicant owns the parcel upon which the temporary dock is located in a parcel improved by at least 1 residential dwelling unit, which is directly across the street, but separated by a road, i.e. East Lake Boulevard. Applicant seeks an interpretation that the intent of the statute, i.e. a dock, when not located on a parcel improved by at least 1 residential unit, is met under the circumstances set forth herein, or in the alternative for the following area variance table below. The property is located at 148 East Lake Boulevard, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 76.30-1-5. The code requires lake frontage of 50 feet, provided is 6.25 feet. The variance requested is 43.75. Minimum area, 3,000 square feet. What is provided is 280 square feet. The variance requested is 2,720 square feet.
Is this adjourned to the December meeting?
Yes, I think what Mr. Schilling's
Yeah,
about.
he's here, so.
My partner, Frank Smith, is handling this matter. I had a conversation with Rose today or yesterday, and on November 15, my office requested that the matter be adjourned, and he did that via fax, and Rose couldn't locate it, and then she did relocate it. So I do apologize that this.
No worries.
No worries.
I'm cognizant of it, but we have requested an adjournment.
So can I have a motion to hold over?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Second by Rose, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
in
Thanks,
December.
Bill.
See Frank in December.
You'll see him in a couple minutes.
Yeah, right? Okay, application number 3, another holdover. An application of Patrick Coleman for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to add steps to a deck and shed. The property is located at 26 Summit Circle Drive, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 87.9-1-33. The code requires a 30-foot rear setback for the deck. What is provided is 1.1 feet. The variance requested is 28.9 feet. For the shed, the code requires a 40-foot front. What is provided is 13 feet. The variance requested is a 27-foot. For the shed also, the side requires a 10-foot side. What is provided is 1.5 feet. What the variance requested is 8.5. And for the fence, a 4-foot fence, what is provided is 6 foot, and a variance requested is 2 feet.
Phil, if you remember, this is the one that was doing the deck and then the shed and then the fence were all in question. He came back the day after, we cleaned up all the application, put everything on there, so.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Raise your right hand. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. State your name and address for the record, please.
Patrick Holman, 26 Summit Circle Drive, Mahopac, New York, 10541.
Okay, so we were here before. Why don't you tell us what you're looking to do?
Yep, so we wanted to redo our deck, and when applying for the permit, we realized that we're going to need a new variance. We currently do have a variance on the property from when the original house and deck were built. Gave us a 6-foot variance, I believe is somewhere 6.1, something like that. As we're redoing the deck, it was recommended to us by the deck company to redo everything, footings, everything, and also widen and add a staircase to the western side of the house, because the one on the eastern side of the house is very long, narrow, and dangerous. So that one's going to get ripped down. So the new variance would bring us down to 1.1 feet close to the property line there with this new staircase and the new deck. That property line backs up against New York State Electric and Gas. So there's no issues there with anyone being right next to us as far as residential property. Upon having the building department come and take a look at the deck with me, we have the shed on the property that I put up as a Rubbermaid shed. It's close to the property line once again. If you also look at our site map line, you can see that I could put that shed anywhere on my property and not be within code because of the shape of the lot. So that's up against also on the western side. That's also a nice seg that backs up to that property line as well where the shed is. So I'm looking for a variance there as well. And then I believe RoseMarie, I believe it was you that mentioned the fence last time we were here. I do have a 6-foot fence around what I consider to be my side yard of my property. I was then told that that's part of it's considered the front because of the where the line is drawn in the front of the house. I've also been informed that the reason for requiring a 4-foot fence in the front of the house is due to life safety. Fire department pulls up to the road, needs to be able to see the front of the house to assess it. If you can see based on the pictures I provided since last time, that the fence does not obstruct any portion of the front of my house, and that's why we consider that to be our side yard, because it really is on the side of the property. Also, without that side yard, we would have no backyard, so we use it as our backyard. That is our yard for our house because of the shape of our lot and also the slope and elevation of our lot. If you've seen the map, everything on the eastern side of the house, that's all goes down elevation to the street below. It's probably at least a 50-foot elevation change or more, and it's unusable land on that portion. So here I am looking to get everything in code and proper, and so nobody falls off our deck.
And there's no land that you could purchase to bring the setback variances into code or closer?
Don't think NICEAG's going to sell me their land.
Okay.
They were just out there actually this past summer. It was actually the pipeline crew working on the pipeline utility back there. They had marked off everything. They were out there all summer long doing stuff. There was no problems with where my fence was or any of my, my deck or anything like that for where they were working. They've even cut down, if one of the pictures shows the trees, a couple trees right by the deck in the back there, if you can see those, that kind of shows you where the property line is. The tree line is pretty much the property line. And you can see from the corner of my deck there to those trees, it's actually about 12 feet. So maybe the line might be a little bit in front of that. So it's a decent amount of space, but once again, nobody from NYSEG ever comes anywhere near those trees except to trim them once in a while.
Okay. All right, John, any questions?
No, it's an unusual piece of dimension of that
Yes.
property, and I know it's hard to work with the front of the house, which begins at the face of the existing garage, it looks like. That would need to be 4 feet going out towards the road.
Yeah, so the way that the house is angled on the property, basically 70% of that fence would be considered front yard. That whole side yard would be front yard, but it's not obviously used that way.
Mike, is this shed considered on the front yard too there? Because it's so far up?
Well, no,
He's getting the variance to the front yard.
Yeah, we're getting, the variance requested on shed is from 2 different sides, I believe.
Yeah, both sides.
Front and side.
Because once again, the depth of the lot does not, no matter where I put it, it still need a variance.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Rose?
Is there a huge slope going by the fence that it dips down?
On which portion of the fence, depends. I mean, the whole,
All over here, actually.
that's a little bit more level up top there. And then as you go closer to the house, it does dip down. There's a drop off. There's a stone wall by our driveway there, which the fence sits on top of, by the driveway side there. And then the whole property, once you get past the house, the whole rest of the side of the property just kind of goes down.
Drops.
So yeah, it's,
I was out there, I don't know if anybody else was. It's an unusual street.
Yeah.
There's not much going on that street.
no.
The fence does block mountain views. It does block views.
Can I address that real quick?
yeah,
Okay.
please.
So I would be more than glad to get any of my neighbors to write something to you guys showing that they're fine with it. Prior to that fence being there, the prior owners of the house, I bought the house in 2016, my wife and I, there was a row of white pine trees there, on average about 12 feet tall, so there was no view there. So actually, we created a view by putting the fence there and pulling down those pine trees. And all my neighbors, when they do their morning walks with their dogs, all say how great the view is. So if that's a concern, it's no longer.
Yeah, there's
And we didn't have
portions-
anything sent to us that was objection.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no. If anything, we improved the view there by
Yeah, I
doing that.
mean, when I came around, the first time I came around to the left side, then I came around the right side.
Mm-hmm.
It obstructs a portion of it, but given its location, there's not a
Yeah.
lot of houses there. It's very isolated.
Yeah, and if the trees were still there, they'd have no view. Like I said, one of my neighbors who's been there, I think 30, 40 years, said she never even knew that view was there before because she never
believe
saw
it.
past those trees, so.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I had.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank
Sil?
Nothing, it's a very unique situation.
Yeah.
I think it's addressed appropriately.
Julie?
I'm good.
Young William?
Nothing here.
That's my last time I'll do that. All right. Does anyone from the public need to be heard on this or want to be heard on this? No? Then I look for a motion.
Motion to close?
Second.
Second by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your job tonight, close it.
What?
You're doing your job tonight, close it.
All right. Application number 4, application of William and Deborah Schilling for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to build shed. The property is located at 37 Kirk Lake Drive, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 64.11-1-16. The code requires with an 8x10 shed at 10-foot side, provided is 2 feet, so the variance requested is 8 feet. You're not here in a legal capacity, so we're going to swear you in.
Will you refer to me as William Schilling or young William as you do your
I'll call you. No, don't worry about it. All right, what do you need here?
No, you gotta swear.
I know, he's a lawyer.
No, are you representing yourself or not?
I am.
Yes.
Full-
I guess you
Full
are.
for a client, yeah.
Okay.
What they say
Your
about
own
representing.
client.
Should I?
Swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So my name is William Schilling, and my wife is Deb. She can't be here this evening. Our property is 37 Kirk Lake Drive, 64-11-16. On the property is a single-family house, 2-bedroom. There's a large patio on the property. It consists of about a quarter acre. It's a small piece of property. My wife and I bought it 3-4 months ago in late May of '23. As you read, our requested relief is to place an 8x10 shed on the property. The important thing that I'm going to tell you is that there's a great big slab where a shed used to be. I'd like to, I don't have big pictures, I'd just like to have you pass it.
Take the
So
mic, take the
talking to the
mic.
mic or take the mic?
The hand one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So I think it's better if I brought it to you so you could see that the slab is a former site. You can just take that and pass it on if you would. So as I said, we purchased in just a couple months ago, and the slab was there. It's on the northerly side. It's about 10 by 12. And the survey that we gave to you shows that the former shed on the property was on the slab. It had been removed, I'm not sure when, but it's subsequently been removed. But it had been removed when we purchased. There was no shed there. My wife and I moved from a 5,000 square foot house to an 1,100 square foot house. So I think you probably know the need we have for this storage area. We're just busting out, and we have a very small lot. If you looked at the survey I provided you, there really is no other place to put the shed. Between the patio and the small acreage, it's the only place to do it, and it's the convenient place because of the slab. We're seeking an area variance. We, as the co-chairman said, we provide 2 feet on a 10-foot requirement. And the balance test that I'll ask you to consider is the benefit to me, the applicant, my wife, versus the detriment to the neighborhood. It's important to remember that directly behind the what will be the fence or the shed rather, is an 8-foot fence. So it totally covers any view of the shed when it's placed there. And there's tree screenage in the, seasonally, so that no one from the road can see the shed. If you do the balance test, I think we pass. There's certainly no change in the neighborhood. That spot is the perfect spot for the shed. It was a former site for a shed. There's a tree line and a great big fence behind it, so I think the neighborhood won't change. There's no way to obviate the need. There's no other place that we can find to put the shed. We know
No
that
land to purchase.
Sorry?
No land to purchase.
There's no land to purchase. We know that because of our proximity to Kirk Lake, we have to go to the Environmental Conservation Board, which we have an application in for now. So any environmental impact will apparently or should be addressed by the ECB. I don't consider it substantial because of the location of the slab and the fact it'll be hidden by the tree screenage and by the wall. And it wasn't self-created. It was there when we purchased it. Removing the slab would be a huge expense. We don't want to do that. We simply want to place the shed on the slab. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. William? Any?
Young
No
William?
questions.
Julie?
No.
I was
Sil?
expecting a memorandum of law here. I didn't,
I thought it was unnecessary under the circumstances.
no questions, Bill. Thank you.
Rose?
No questions.
John?
No questions.
Thank
No
you very
questions.
much. I
Thank you.
hope you
Does
have a good-
anyone from the public need to be heard on this application or want to be heard on this application?
I just have one question. Is that fence on the property line?
It's a little bit on the other side of the property line. It's on the neighbor's property
Okay, I
line.
was just curious. It
Yeah.
just, I see it runs.
Oh, it's their fence, not yours?
Say it again?
It's their fence, not yours?
No, the fence is directly behind the slab, and the slab is what makes the boundary line.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'll look for a motion.
So moved to close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Second?
Second from Rose. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice holiday, everybody.
You too.
You too, Bill.
Application number 5, application of Patricia and Gary Savitsky for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to remove 3-car garage and replace with 2-car garage. The property is located at 22 Averill Drive, Mahopac, New York. It is known as tax map number 64.12-2-8. Code requires a 10-foot side. What is provided is 5, and the variance requested is 5 feet. The code requires 10-foot rear. What is provided is 4 feet. The variance required is 6 feet. Okay. Raise your right hand. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Gary Savitsky. I'm here with my wife, Patricia Savitsky, 22 Averill Drive, Mahopac, New York.
Okay, what are you looking to do?
I'm looking to, I have an existing 3-car garage. I'm looking to tear down a 3-car garage, and I want to propose to put a 2-car garage. And I want to slide it over, because right now my house is shaped like this, and there's really no way of backing out of the spaces over here. So, I thought of, move the garage close to the property line this way. I can't even, it's very hard to turn around, so even if I have to back out, I can just back out over here. The house is surrounded by easements in neighborhood estates or shore owners' estates. So, and I'm not going to be blocking any views of the lake. So looking down the lake, down over here, and I cannot place the garage in any other location because my septic system's over here. So I just slid it down here. I'm trying to ask for minimum variance for a 2-car garage from a 3-car garage.
And there's no land that you could purchase to bring it closer to conformance?
No, there's no way.
All right. John, any questions?
No, that's in the estates back there, it's tight.
Yeah, it's tight, yes.
So you're gonna be able to move in and out of the 2-car garage. The existing garage you're gonna move over. Is that right, or are you gonna use the exact?
No, the existing garage is going to be totally torn down,
Okay.
and I'm going to slide it over, because right now when you back up, you pretty much back up into my back of my house. So, trying not to put it on the property line, just, just have easier access in and out of the garage.
I have no further questions.
Okay. Rose?
I was out there twice. Given the height of this garage, I believe it will absolutely, and I actually went with my husband a second time, it will absolutely block the views of the people behind you. You're very close to the property line, and they have that, the deck there. And I think you will be devaluing your neighbor's property by putting it where you are putting it. The height is just too high.
Well,
It's gonna affect your neighbor.
Okay,
The height's not in front of us, though.
Yeah.
It's a whole second story. Before he had just a single
it's
story with
really-
a low
it's-
roof.
if I may explain, half the garage is
Could
buried
you
on
do
the
me a favor,
back
just
side of the
grab the
property.
hand microphone because you're
sorry.
like away from the other mic, they have to record this.
Let me open this up. If you look at the photo, oh, sorry. If you look at the photos, you can see that my neighbor's actually windows and deck are going to be full view of the lake. And there's a row of white pines behind the garage, and the view is actually going to be increased, because I'm going to take down these pine trees back here, which are a tremendous maintenance problem, and they'll still have their view corridor going down the lake.
I don't know how they'll have the view if you have
Well,
a
let me show, I
two-story garage
actually
there.
took a picture. This is their view. Their deck is like right over here, and the garage will end over here, so I'm not going to be blocking their view at all.
So the deck, the
And actually,
garage,
go ahead.
you look at the existing garage, how much further is it going out from the existing garage?
It's going to go, I think it's about 5 feet. I think it's 10 feet now, it's going down to 5 feet. It's proposed 5, it was 11.25 feet. And the reason I'm pulling it over is because I have to be able to back out safely,
I mean,
without-
those garages have been there for years, and no one's ever complained about it before.
It's my garage, yes, I've been living with this, yeah.
He's complaining.
He's complaining.
I'm
So it's
complaining.
only gonna go 5 feet further than what exists right now?
Correct.
Over to the left.
And what's the height difference from what's there now?
The height difference is probably going to be another 6 feet higher.
How could that be? How could it only be 6 feet higher? You have a whole second story on.
Oh, there's, the roof pitches up
This.
high. My average height is gonna be under 15 feet.
This is the,
It's 16 feet just to the plate before the gabled roof.
Yeah, but if you okay, it's 16, it's 10 feet to the plate in the front, and in the back, the grade is much higher. It's like 5 feet in the back. This is the back, the grade slopes up all along the side of the property line, so. I mean, I don't think there's a view issue here at
It's
all.
24 feet, say, 6 inches to the top, from the ground to the top, that's what it is.
Well,
what it
it's
says.
16 feet to the, excuse me, top of the plate on the dormer is 16'3", and it's another probably
8
5 feet to the, it's like 21 feet.
Well, if it says a quarter inch is 1 foot, okay, you got 4 inches there, it's 8 feet. But the pines, how tall are the pine trees back
The
there?
pine trees are probably another 5 feet above this roof right now.
the pine trees are huge.
They're huge,
They're
and they're
huge.
overgrown, and they're a big maintenance problem, and they're all dying. They've
Yeah,
been there
they're huge.
forever.
I
What's-
can see that.
What's going above the garage
Just open storage,
storage?
So there won't be any plumbing in there.
no plumbing.
Sorry.
You know she
You
always
gotta
has a
switch
funny
places
question.
with me, Sylvia.
Yeah.
But she wasn't doing it.
See, 'cause
If you look down that view corridor, there's only one house that could be affected on this whole
yeah.
proposal. And I met with my neighbor tonight, we went through it. He has no objection, he didn't write me a letter, I could ask him for a letter. But,
And he's
right
not
off his
here?
deck, what?
Your neighbor's not here?
He's not here, no. But if you look down that view corridor during to the lake, it's still gonna remain the same.
This.
And so there's only one house.
So this is where the garage ends now, 5 feet. So here he has a garage here, and he has a deck right here, this person behind him. So if it's only 5 feet beyond what exists now,
Correct.
that would probably be okay, but anything beyond that,
No, I'm asking, it's 11.25 now, and I'm asking, I guess, a 6.25 variance in that one corner.
because that's gonna be very high considering what is now.
It's gonna be 24 feet, 6 inches.
24 feet?
6
What
inches.
is this, you think,
That looks like about 16 feet to the top of
to the
that
very
peak.
top?
Yeah.
But this is gonna be a much wider roof area.
But this is
Oh,
all
yeah.
gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Right, this is all gonna be gone, he's gonna extend
Yeah,
it
I'll
by
leave that.
5 here.
That's not.
So you had
If
a
it's only
three-car
going-
garage, and now you'll have two-car.
I had a 3-car, now I'm having 2
And
cars.
what was the width of the three-car? About 36 feet?
It was just 125, about 35 feet,
35 feet. And what's the width of the two-car?
24 feet.
All right, so that's 12 feet, the whole roof will be shifting to the left.
So you hear that?
12 feet? No, it's only shifting,
The roof.
The roof will be.
So the roof was all the way here, you're making the building smaller, so by making the building small, the peak is shifting to the
No,
left.
but Mike, the third garage had no roof, it was a two-car garage, it looks like an addition, if you look at the pictures.
Oh, it didn't have a pitch roof on it?
it does, it has front to
No,
back.
no, no.
This way, I got it.
It has a front to back pitch.
Can't see this peak.
Yeah, so that's why the peak is in a weird spot, anyway.
That neighbor?
Rose, anything more?
No, not right now.
You good?
No.
Okay. Sylvia?
I have nothing, thank you.
Julie?
Nothing.
William?
Nothing.
Okay. Give you another shot?
I'd love to have a letter from the neighbor.
I think his silence speaks volumes.
Think so?
Yes?
He was noticed.
He was noticed. Does anyone want to be heard on this application? Okay.
Be out here, this guy.
Can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Seconded by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir. Okay. Application number 6, application of Mark Vushai for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to extend a current deck 2 feet closer to the rear property line. The property is located at 144C Avenue, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 76.30-1-51. The code requires a 20-foot rear setback. What is provided is an 18-foot setback, and you asking for 2 feet.
2 feet.
How do you live with yourself?
This one's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Brian Moylan. I'm at 45 Highland Road. This is for Mark Bouchai at 144C Ave, Mahopac.
Okay, what is your connection with Mark?
We are friends, but he's asking me to be the contractor on this job.
Okay. All right, tell us what you're trying to do here.
So he has an existing deck. It is almost past its prime, and he wants to tear it down, put a new deck up. Because of the furniture he has, he's asking to extend it by 2 feet to the back.
Extending out more.
Towards the rear of the property, yeah. So he wants to enclose the deck and make it more of a livable space.
And there's no property that he could purchase to bring it more in conformance?
No.
Okay. All right. William?
No questions.
Julie?
No questions.
Silvio?
No questions.
Rose?
No questions.
John?
Is the stairs changing at all, the direction?
The stairs, because of the pitch of the property, and we're gonna be dropping the elevation of the deck, it will actually take the stairs almost away. It'll be one stair.
Looks good.
All right.
You good, John?
No more questions.
All right. Does anyone from the public want to be heard on this application? No one? Then I'll wait for a motion to close.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Silvio, who wants the second?
Second.
Second by Rose, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you, sir. Application number 7. I'm gonna have to take this slow. Application of Salvatore Mazzucolo. That it good?
Close enough.
Mazzucolo.
Mazzoccolo.
Okay,
Mazzucolo.
sorry. For a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to construct prefab shed. The property is located at 8 Toplin Road, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 74.42-1-10. The code requires a 10-foot side setback. What is provided is 3 feet, and the variance requested is 7 feet. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name and your address for the record, please.
My name is Dominic Mazzoccolo. I reside at 4 Burbank Street, apartment 2A, Yonkers, New York. I'm representing my father here, Salvatore. His address is 8 Toplin Road, Mahopac, New York.
Okay. All right, what are you looking to do here?
We are proposing to construct a prefabricated shed in the front of the property. The reason why we chose this location, there is no space beyond and behind the house behind the house. So we had chose this location because we have a quad, tools, whatnot, and my dad's has heart issues, whatnot, so he can't really be shoveling snow when we're using a snow blower. So yeah, tomorrow's going for operation. So I'm looking to propose this so we can put more storage, whatnot. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
And this is the map that shows where you're putting it, right?
That is correct, sir.
And that's the front, so.
That's the
I know.
front.
That's the front. That's a tough lot.
It's very
All
tight
right.
in C-core.
Yeah.
Seafront.
All right, John, any questions?
How far is it from Toplin Road? Just out of curiosity, the
It's roughly 30 feet.
30 feet. I have no further questions.
Rose?
Those 2 metal sheds are not yours?
There's one existing metal shed, and it was on the property before, when my father had purchased it. But it's a portion of our property and a portion of Con Edison/NYSEG property behind us, and they were existing.
So do you think you might get rid of them?
Yeah,
All right, you're going to remove
yeah.
both?
No, one
The
one is ours, the other one is our neighbor's.
Okay, so you're going to remove yours?
That's correct.
Okay, we're going to condition that.
Okay.
Okay.
You're doing that one.
Any thoughts on any kind of screening?
That's tough there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, just put some evergreen there, just to
Okay.
block it a little bit? You have any problems
Of
with
course,
that?
no, it's not a problem
Can
at
we
all.
condition it on
I'm
that?
asking you.
It's not
You
a
can
problem.
precondition that as well, okay.
Okay.
Like 2 3-foot arborvitae.
2 or
would be
3
nice, one on
arborvitae
each
would be-
corner.
We had
Great, okay.
placed some already on the one of the property lines,
Yeah,
so.
I'm
there was
showing it would work
an
well.
Existing, I don't know if you saw the property before, there was probably like a 10 to 12-foot shrubs on each part of the property line, if you see on the property map.
Yeah.
We had removed all those and put all smaller shrubs, just to clean up, make it look
Yeah.
nicer, but it's not a problem for me.
Great. All right, Sil?
I know it's a little past the planting season, but probably as we go towards the spring.
Understood, no worries.
No questions.
Julie?
Nope.
William?
No questions.
All right. Does anyone from the public want to be heard on this application? No? I look for a motion to close.
Motion to close the public
By
hearing.
Sil, seconded by
Second.
Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, happy
Thank you,
holidays.
Dad. You too.
Ciao.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow.
Has a heart attack.
He's going for heart surgery.
I know.
Have a good evening, everyone, thank you.
Too much soup to the side.
All right, application number 8, the application of Andrew Sabo for a variation of section 156-15, seeking a variance for permission to construct new 144-square-foot dining room addition to existing dwelling. The property is located at 40 Bloomer Road, Mahopac, New York, and is known as tax map number 75.20-1-14. The code requires a 20-foot side yard setback. What is provided is 13 feet, and the variance requested is 7 feet. We have 2 of you, so please both raise your hands. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, state your name and address, both of you, for the record.
And in the microphone, please.
Andrew Sabo, 40 Bloomer Road, Mahopac, New York.
Joseph Pataki, 266 Sheer Hill Road, Mahopac.
Okay. What are you looking to do here, guys?
Their family's growing, they're expecting another child, and the existing kitchen living space is just too small. The kitchen is actually tiny, and they want to expand the kitchen space to have more cabinetry, and then because of that, they have to create a new area for a dining table, which is what this 12 by 12 addition is going to handle. They can't relocate the addition anywhere else because it has to stay near the existing kitchen area, and actually the existing house is within the 20-foot setback itself. And the next door neighbor on the left side actually has a similar addition, so it will stay within the same character of that. And we're not going to have any windows proposed on that side, just to maintain some privacy from the neighbor.
What is your role?
I designed the plans.
All right. There's no land that could be purchased to bring it into conformance?
No.
Okay. All right. William, any questions?
No questions.
Julie, any questions?
No questions.
Silvio?
Standard on a raised ranch, no questions.
Rose?
No questions.
John?
I have no questions.
I had no questions either. Thank you, guys.
Any big few?
Anyone from the audience, the public, want to be heard on this application? All right, I'll look for a motion to close.
Motion to close public hearing.
From Silvio, seconded by
Second.
Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
All right. Application number 9. Number 9.
That's a very
That's a
veiled reference. There's people have to be.
Carmel Terminals for a variation of section 156-11, seeking a variance for permission to construct a project per the enclosed plans within the required front and rear yard setbacks, vary the requirement for a minimum of 200 feet of lot depth. The property is located at 79 Old Route 6, Carmel, New York, and is known as tax map number 55.11-1-23. Front yard setback required by the code is 40 feet. What is provided is 25 feet. The variance requested is 15 feet. The rear yard setback is required by code to be 30 feet. What is provided is 24 feet. The variance required is 6 feet. The lot depth of 200 feet is required. What is provided is 144 feet, and the variance requested is 56 feet. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Adam Thyberg, 3 Garrett Place, Carmel.
All right, what are you looking to do here?
So I'm here representing the applicants, Ray and Jack Dirk, and the Carmel Terminals. So the applicant seeking the 3 area variances that were mentioned related to a site plan application that's currently before the planning board. The applicant seeking to upgrade their existing oil terminal by replacing their existing aged oil tanks that and containment dike with a new system that'll be compatible with renewable, cleaner burning biofuels. This includes a new building to contain the fuel tanks. Currently, the existing tanks, if you're familiar with the site, are outside, exposed to the elements, and visible from the road and surrounding properties. Also included in the project is an enlarged containment dike, as mentioned before, 4 50,000-gallon B10 bioheat tanks, 1 25,000-gallon B10 on-road diesel tank, and 1 25,000-gallon B100 above-ground storage tank. Also proposed is a second structure to house the appurtenant piping, control system, and a loading-unloading rack. So again, the variances that are being requested are the front yard setback for the proposed new loading rack, which is here, a rear yard setback for the proposed tank enclosure, which is this structure, and then the lot depth variance, which we also wanted to take care of tonight. So based on the criteria for the requested area variances, the variances will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. In fact, quite the opposite. The proposed project will enclose the currently exposed tanks and will create a significant architectural and aesthetic improvement to the neighborhood. 2, there's no alternative if the variances are not granted. The project could not go forward, and its many benefits could not be realized. There's no option for expansion, as the somewhat awkwardly shaped lot is set between Old Route 6 and the Putnam Trailway. 3, the variances being sought are not substantial, as the proposed structures will occupy much of the same space that the existing system does, and the entirety of the project is on property that's already been developed. 4, the variances will not have an adverse effect on the physical environment for a number of reasons. As discussed, the work area has been previously developed. The total disturbance associated with the project is relatively small. And by enclosing the existing terminal and loading rack, there'll be an improvement in stormwater quality because the tanks in the loading area will be shielded from precipitation. And finally, 5, the need for these variances is not self-created. The site is irregularly shaped and there's no option for expansion. In closing, it should be highlighted that the applicant is seeking to aid in the adoption of these cleaner burning biofuels with the proposed upgrades to the terminal. The byproducts of that effort also happen to provide a significant aesthetic and environmental improvement to the site. So these variances are obviously critical for the applicant to move forward with the project so they can provide these higher quality fuels to their customers and realize the other benefits of the project.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, this has been at the planning board. They did everything we asked. They went and did it, made it look farmish looking,
Yeah.
tried to dress it up a little.
Yeah.
It's a great project in the planning board's eyes. That was something they were really looked favorably on because of the location. They're trying to dress up the whole area. We got a few other projects going in there and everything's going in that direction. I think you have a few of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to keep a direction, so it'll be nice to see that area get dressed up a little.
Yeah, this is definitely a welcome improvement, yeah.
John, any questions?
The original terminal is how many gallons? Is there any change in the gallons and capacity with the new one?
Slightly larger.
Oh, look at this one.
Because of the bio, yes.
So
You can answer that.
it is slightly larger, and we like to impress that the somewhat increased capacity is not an indication of increased number of customers. It's going to be the same operation. It'll just have increased
Did you
capacity.
say it's all biodiesel, or there's regular crude number 2 in there too?
I think it's all going to be the biofuel.
It's all biodiesel?
All right, someone wants to talk, you could come
Just
up.
want to ask, that's all.
John? I'll blame you for this one. Raise your right hand, the
with
other
me.
right hand. It happens all the time. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Jack Durkin, 120 Fields Lane with Carmel Terminals. The distillate storage, which is the majority of the storage, is B10, which is a 10% blend of biofuel, and then there's a separate 25,000 gallon tank for B10 biodiesel, which is on-road diesel, and then there's a separate 25,000 gallon B100 tank, which is 100% blend of bio. That is used to blend with the B10 to get anywhere from B10 to
Right.
B99 blend.
Yeah, so you blend it.
Yeah, it'll be an on-site blending facility.
Good, good move. That's all, thank you.
All right. Rose, any questions?
Thanks.
Questions?
Silvio?
No questions.
Julie?
No questions.
Rich-
I just have one.
Willie?
I think in that area, there's a bunch of tanks outside that would be delivered to people's houses and used like as storage in someone's,
Those are propane tanks. That's a separate
is that going in this building?
Right.
Okay, hold on.
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Raymond Durkin, 120 Fields Lane, Brewster, New York.
Thank you. Okay.
So those tanks, are they going in here or are they still gonna be exposed
They'll still
and
be exposed.
visible?
And you said they were propane tanks?
Yes, empty.
What about that trailer that's on the property? Is that going to go away?
That is going.
Okay. Because now you said that triggered the other part of that. Okay.
William, any more?
Would you consider putting them in here so that people on the trail don't see it?
DEC won't allow us to put them in there.
Propane's gotta be out.
As the temperature changes, it releases gases.
Good question.
It's a fair ask. What about maybe building just some type of shelter for them? Like
Or
something?
a screen from the,
Would
put
you
up a
cons-
couple trees in between?
Honestly, the bikeway was our property, and years ago, we didn't want to give it up for the bikeway. Frank Del Campo was supervisor then, and I said if we're going to be expanding this terminal sooner or later. And we went back and forth because the county owns the property behind on the other side. And I said, why don't you take the county property instead of our property? Went back and forth, and because of the pitch, it was an old railroad bed. And they
Right.
didn't want to, it would have been a lot more excavation work.
This
And
is, yeah, we're going to also discuss that at planning, just so you know.
And I said, I did ask them, the trailway was supposed to put more vegetation there, because vegetation kills us with our vehicles and trucks. It's so tight. So you plant a couple of trees, but as they grow, they're like that.
Still extend
The trucks, it's hard.
But that will be addressed at planning, so that's something that we were talking about
All right,
already.
so that you're going to.
Well, we're talking about it, so
hopefully.
hopefully we
All
can
right.
get something, a rack or something that they can do to dress it up a little. They'll work with us. They've been,
Question.
All right. Anyone from the public want to be heard on this application?
Can we condition it that the trailer will be removed?
The trailer being removed is part of the site plan.
it's already shown to be removed on the site plan, yes.
Oh, it's already on the site.
So I don't
we
even
have
have
to,
to
we have to do it.
Yeah, it's removed on the site plan.
So planning took care of it. Okay, very good.
All right. I'll look for a motion.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Seconded by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Roll.
All right, so, application number 1, Robert Altero was held over. Application number 2, Kotai was held over.
Is that going to
Application
keep
number,
getting held over, that one?
Yeah.
excuse me?
Well,
Kotai's
this is
been
the
held over quite a few times, maybe.
Yes. Bill, well, I think Bill's doing something with that.
That's
Well,
fine. It's
actually, it
just,
was- it was-
last time we asked them to show us the map because we said maybe move over one.
Right.
But it's been held over and held
Right.
over and held over. We have them in court. That's the only reason I'm asking. We're just trying to
No.
keep things moving. The courts are starting to get on us about things dragging along.
The court can't proceed while it's here.
That's correct. This is a
While this
stat.
application's open, it's automatically staying in the court.
So if we'd have to dismiss it.
Well, you already put it over tonight.
We put it off.
Well, we did
So-
put it over. All right.
All right, for next time.
So if it's not resolved by next month, it's
Then
done.
we're good. Okay.
All right, so it's gotta be next
Application
month.
number 3, Patrick Coleman. Can I get a motion?
Motion to grant?
Second by
Second.
Julie. Do we need to do a roll call? All in favor? Aye. Application 4, William and Deborah Schilling. Can I get a motion?
No. Motion to grant?
Seconded by?
Second.
By Rose. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Application number 5, Patricia and Gary Savitsky. Can I get a motion?
Was that yours? No. Motion to grant.
Second.
Seconded by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm
Aye.
against.
Oh, I'm sorry, let's do roll
Oh,
call.
let's do roll call, let's do roll
Okay,
call.
roll call. John?
I'm in favor of the motion.
Okay, Rose?
Against.
Silvio?
4.
4.
Julie, 4. William, 4. Aglietti, 4. Okay, passes 5-1.
Oh,
If
no
my math
plumbing
is-
we were gonna do.
What's that?
That's why I looked to you.
We were gonna go no plumbing.
Oh, yeah, there was a
That's
condition
why I
on
looked at
that.
you, because I thought that was.
Can we open up the vote?
No, it's done.
No, we're done.
Done?
Okay, we're done.
Unless, we could if it was unanimous, but,
Who's making the application for the rehearing?
what was that?
Who's making that application for the rehearing?
No,
Okay,
that's fine.
All right.
I forgot that, that's why I looked at you.
I didn't make a note either. Number 6, application of Mark Fushai. Can I get a motion?
Motion to grant.
By John, seconded by
Second.
Silvio. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The applicant, number 7, application of Salvatore Mazzucolo.
Motion to grant with 2 conditions. One, that the metal shed in the back will be removed, and there will be screening to, 3?
Three.
Arborvet-
2 or
arborvitae.
3 arborvitae
2 to 3.
on each corner facing the road.
2 to 3
3 foot?
face-
'Cause they'll grow, they do grow.
3 foot facing the road on each corner.
3 foot.
Can I get a second?
I second that.
Seconded by Silvio. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Rose. I lost my track here. Application number 8, Andrew Sabo.
Motion to grant.
Second.
Seconded by Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, application of Carmel Terminals.
Motion to grant.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by John. Roll call or all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. There's nothing else. Motion to
Motion to adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
We are back
There's no
when?
minutes.
No
minutes.
minutes, there were no minutes.
No minutes.
We're back after Christmas?
No,
No, it's 21st.
Oh, yeah.
December 21st. Bye, everybody.